Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Medical Concepto. Today we will be talking about bronchial asthma. So let's start. At first, we will see a clinical scenario. A 65 years old woman presented with severe breathlessness for 5 hours. She has history of cough and allergy. How will you manage her? Think a little. We will come back with this scenario after our discussion session. Bronchial asthma, which is very common disease of respiratory tract. But what is bronchial asthma? Bronchial asthma is a chronic inflammatory disease of the airways, characterized by bronchial hyperactivity and a variable degree of airway obstruction. Patients with bronchial asthma have some common signs and symptoms. These are shortness of breath, chest tightness, wheezing, and coughing. Coughing is more severe at night and early morning. According to the characteristics of asthma, asthma has various classification. Let's know about this. First of all, extrinsic asthma. Extrinsic asthma, which is more common type of asthma. Nearly 70% of patients are suffering from this type of bronchial asthma. It is caused by allergic reactions. In this type of asthma, high levels of immunoglobulin E is found in blood. It is triggered by allergic factors. For example, house dust mites, pets such as cats and dogs, cockroach, fungus, etc. And then intrinsic asthma. It is less common. Nearly 30% of patients are suffering from intrinsic asthma. It is triggered by non-allergic factors like stress, cold, dry air, smoke, anxiety, virus, etc. Other types are occupational asthma, aspirin-induced asthma, cough variant asthma, exercise-induced asthma. Occupational asthma is a type of asthma caused by exposure to inhaled irritants in workplace. Aspirin-induced asthma refers to the development of bronchoconstriction in asthmatic individuals following the ingestion of aspirin. Cough variant asthma is a type of asthma in which main symptom is dry, non-productive cough. A non-productive cough does not expel any mucus from the respiratory tract. Exercise-induced asthma is a narrowing of the airways in the lung triggered by exercise. Now come to the diagnosis. How to confirm that it is asthma? The diagnosis of asthma is predominantly clinical and is based on the combination of history, lung function tests, and other tests. In CBC test, eosinophil count is found increased. In induced sputum examination, eosinophil count is found increased. Lung function test by spirometry, forced expiratory volume by forced vital capacity. If less than 80%, that is obstructive lung disease. If greater than 80%, then it is restrictive lung disease. And the other tests, 20% reduction of morning peak expiratory flow, methacholine challenge test, serum immunoglobulin E, skin sensitivity test. Diagnostic criteria of asthma. Forced expiratory volume greater than or equal 12% increase following administration of bronchodilator or trial of glucocorticoids. Greater confidence is gained if the increase is greater than 50% and greater than 400 milliliter. Then greater than 20% diurnal variation on 3 days in a week or more than 3 days in a week for 2 weeks on peak expiratory flow diary. Forced expiratory volume greater than or equal 15% decrease after 6 minutes of exercise. Now management. First of all, avoidance of environmental factors and allergens, and then taking proper medications. The stepwise approach to the management of asthma. There are 5 steps. Step 1. Occasional use of inhaled short-acting beta-2 adrenoreceptor agonist bronchodilator. For patients with mild intermittent asthma, symptoms less than once a week for 3 months and fewer than 2 nocturnal episodes per month. A variety of different inhaled devices are available, and the chronic of device should be guided by patient preference and competence in its use. The metered dose inhaler remain the most widely prescribed. Then step 2. Introduction of regular preventive therapy. Inhaled corticoids such as beclomethasone, budesonide, fluticasone, etc. Now come to the step 3. Add-on therapy. Long-acting inhaled beta-2 adrenoreceptor agonist or leukotriene receptor antagonist, if the patient remains poorly controlled despite regular use of inhaled corticoids. Step 4. Poor control of moderate dose of inhaled steroid and add-on therapy. Addition of a 4th drug. A nasal glucocorticoid preparation should be used in patients with prominent upper airway symptoms. Leukotriene receptor antagonist, long-acting anti-muscarinic agents, theophylline or a slow-release beta-2 agonist may be considered. And last, step 5. Continuous or frequent use of oral glucocorticoids. At this stage, prednisolone therapy, usually administered as a single dose in the morning, should be prescribed in the lowest amount necessary to control symptoms. Step-down therapy. Once asthma control is established, the dose of inhaled glucocorticoids should be titrated to the lowest dose at which effective control of asthma is maintained. Now come to the case that we have discussed before. In this case, the patient has clinical features like an asthmatic patient. But the diagnosis of asthma is predominantly clinical and is based on the combination of history, lung function test, and other tests. That's why we should confirm the disease by some tests that we have discussed before. And then after confirmation, we should treat the patient. Thank you all for staying with us. Thank you.